Roofing 1978. Besides a backpack blower, what do you use to dry a roof? Well, assuming that this person is a foam roofer, what would you say to that, Aaron?
I mean,
or even a coating guy.
Yeah. Other than time, there's really no way to dry out a deck. Yeah, and the higher the humidity level is, the longer it's going to take for that deck to dry out. I have seen some contractors in some instances, like let's say unannounced thunderstorm rolls through, pours rain for 30 minutes, 45 minutes, and then it clears out and humidity level drops back down. You can use like a black primer for thermal gain that'll heat that deck up quicker and in hopes of sucking that moisture out. But no, I mean, time is really what's going to dry a deck out.
Yeah, Butch.
Yeah, I think that the blower is fine to help get water off the roof. I don't think it helps a whole lot in drying. You know, what Aaron said is 100% accurate. We need dry air. And if it's very humid, you can blow humid air all over the place and it's still going to be humid on the roof. So I think that that's another area that we have to offer some caution in, and that is, yeah, time is the only thing that fixes a lot of these issues. If we got water on the roof, we can get the water off the roof, but we still got to get the moisture content in the air low enough to spray, as well as whatever moisture may be on the roof and in the cells that are possibly exposed on that roof that would contain a small amount of moisture. So time is it. Time and cooperation by Mother Nature is all you really depend on.
Yeah. I think there's a general belief that coatings are that it's how should I put this? There's probably a general belief between the two industries, foam roofing and just coatings, that coating is more forgiving to moisture. What would you say to that, Aaron?
Coating's not more forgivable, it's cheaper to fix. So I think that's probably what some people get confused with. You know, you're willing to gamble a little bit more because the stakes are lower. To fix foam is more costly than to fix, especially on the acrylic side, a water-based coating. But no, I would probably moisture, like actual standing moisture on a roof or moisture content in a roof is obviously probably more detrimental to spray foam. But I would argue humidity in the air, humidity levels is more detrimental to an acrylic than it is to spray foam. Butch, what would you?
I agree. I mean, especially in acrylic coating.
Yeah, that correct. Yes, that was for acrylics.
You're not going to form a waterproof, moisture-proof, protective film until the water in that coating evaporates out.
Yeah.
And if the humidity is high, there's not a lot of evaporation taking place.
Yeah. Well, that's the biggest problem, right? You've got a water-based product, water-based acrylic, and if the air around that coating is filled with water, the water in the coating has nowhere to go.
Exactly.
So it prolongs that. There are quick set acrylics that chase the water out of the coating quicker. But again, if your humidity levels are high enough, then the quick set doesn't even do you any good. The silicone's completely different because the silicones are obviously a moisture cured product. So technically, the more moisture in the air, the faster that product's going to dry.
Correct.
It's stuff. And additionally, you know, from a liability standpoint, there's a reason that the daily checklists ask specifically when the last time there was moisture on the roof.
Yes.
Because it's important.
It's important. Yeah. What, Butch, don't you have a story of a guy fixing a whole bunch of blisters on top of his roof in an unconventional way?
You mean with the bags of lead shot? And
yeah. Tell Roofer 1978 this story.
Well, there's a gentleman that I did a little business with. and he had an issue. He thought that the foam should be more forgiving of moisture than apparently it was. And one day I go up on a roof of his, what he's up working on with his crew, and they're cutting out and fixing blisters all over this roof, and there was a lot of them. And what they had, I saw extension cords running up onto the roof. When I got up onto the roof, all of his guys, each one had one of those little fry baby things with hot glue in them, and they would cut out the blister, take a paintbrush, smear some hot glue on the bottom side of the blister, and then of course the portion of the blister still in the roof. Put the blister back down and put a bag of lead shot on it to hold it down. Then they had to go back and coat after that had set up. So that's not a recommendation of how to fix a foam blister, but I have.
This is a good topic to touch on though briefly, because as crazy of a way to address the blister in that instance is that at least is not causing any more damage. I've seen guys go up to foam roofs that have 2 or 3 inches of foam on it with blisters in between passes, and they run a screw with a plate through all 3 inches of foam into the deck and then coat back over that. In that instance, you are causing more damage than you are good. You know, as ugly as blisters are, unless the blisters from the deck and split open, you're not taking water on in those areas. So yes, we want to get them addressed and we want to get them fixed, but you're still watertight. If you start cutting into a roof and making an improper repair, you've now opened that up and you're not watertight anymore.
Agreed.